Verita Retro. Last time we left off and tried to meet up with Trucker. So let's continue. It's on the East Bridge.
橋までスクーターをして歩くしかないか。
I guess I've got no choice but to drag the scooter all the way to the bridge.
先生ったら彫像が入った箱まで置いていっちゃうし。
That woman, she even left the box of the sculpture here.
あれ、何か入ってる。これは。
There's something else in here. This is...
あの時、本探しの手がかりになった絵だ。でも、少し形が違う気がする。
Looks like the drawing we got before that led us to that book. But this one looks different.
あ、彫像にも同じ絵が描いてある。
Oh, the same
確か
drawing
これ、血で描かれてたはず。
is on the sculpture too. We said it was drawn in blood, right?
終着点のところに東の端って書いてある。もしかして、これ。
Someone wrote East Bridge as its destination, so perhaps...
今度は彫像の移動経路を示してる。
Is this a map of the sculpture's movements?
先生は一体どうしてこんな
How
こ
did
とが
my
突き止めら
employer
れる
know
んだろう。
about all of this?
やっと着いた。
Almost there.
おお、
Oh,
ジョーさ
little
ん、
miss, you did good
こ
in
こまで
getting
来る
here.
のも大変だっただろ
Have some
う。
water.
ほら、水を。
あれ、スクーター押してきたんですか。乗ってくればよかったのに。
Girl, why didn't you push that scooter here instead of riding it?
乗れるわけないでしょ。無免許なんですから。
I don't know how to ride one. I don't even have a license.
この人、それの何が問題なのって顔してる。
Scream, she's looking at me like she doesn't know why that's a problem.
それで、高級車の乗り心地はどうでしたか、先生。
Whatever, what's done is done. How was test driving the expensive car, man?
あ
Ah,
あ、
the seats were just as hard and
座席が硬くて
as I've
乗り
heard.
心地は微妙でしたね。そんな車、どうして乗りたかったんです。
Why would anyone love a car like that?
高級車だから。
Because it's expensive.
そうですか。
Oh, right.
売れば1億リラはくだらないからな。
If I sold this car, I'd get maybe $100 million.
え？私の借金の10倍の金額じゃない。こっちはたった1000万のせいでこんな目に遭ってるのに。
That's 10 times my debt. Do you think I'm going through all this for just 10 million?
不公平だと思ったかい？
Haha, I think that's our little miss.
世の中、安いものには安い理由があるものだが、高いものに必ずしもそれなりの理由があるとは限らないんだわ。
There's got to be a reason for owning something cheaper. But there doesn't have to be a reason for owning something expensive. Just that's how it goes.
待ち人が来たのでか。
Ah, the person we waiting for has just arrived.
よう、マサーニオじゃないか。こんなところで何してるんだ？
Oh, none other than Fosno, eh? What are you doing stopped up here?
どうも、運転手さん。あなたを待っていたんですよ。
Hello, my esteemed delivery man. We were waiting for you.
この人が
So this is
おじ
the...
さんか。
あ？ この前の金の返済日は来週だっただろう。おじさんの気のせいか？
Didn't you say until next week to pay up? Have you got me confused with someone else?
その件もですが、まずはこちらのお嬢さん方から要件がありましてね。
Well, that business is looming, but will you solve a problem for these young ladies first?
かわいらしいお嬢さんたちじゃないか。それで要件ってなんだ？ああ、俺のことはトラックのおじさんとでも呼んでくれ。
Oh, look at these cuties, and what problem might that be? Feel free to call me Trucker Daddy as you lay it out for me.
助手さん、今のセリフちょっと変態っぽくなかったです。
Assistant girl, didn't that sound like a line a pervert might say?
本人の目の前で何言ってるんですか、先生。
Why would you say that in front of a man in question, man? Let's discuss. Dottie, have you seen this sculpture before? I found it right around here. Oh, what a cute looking bunny sculpture. Let's see here. I got our company sticker on it. It's got our company sticker on it. From the color of the sticker, it looks like a ship through Warehouse 3. If you found it around here, the study right here might have lost it. Unfortunately, I have no memories of the things. Apologies. And you have... Excuse me. And you have no record of the delivery? Let's have a look. Nope, I got nothing in my recent records saying anything about a sculpture. That is no help at all of the pervert business. He's not a pervert, man. Yeah, it's true I'm no help. I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that... Shield. There, I would be so quick to jump to conclusions. Due to the nature of my job, I'm normally on the lookout for things, but I found that sometimes the most unexpected hints can come down from the most trivial remarks. Hints? What did Trucker Daddy just say exactly? My assistant, isn't it normal to keep a written copy of all interviews in case of investigations? Can't be helped, I guess. I'll give you some of my notes this time. Don't just stare at me like that. I found this alongside the sculpture. Aha, you saw that? Yes, I saw it. It's the same as the one you gave me before to find that book, huh? Well... no way, assistant girl. You weren't the one paid 1,000 lira before, were you? I did not pay 1,000 lira, though. And don't tell me, do you not recognize me? Back then we found the book no problem, thanks to the drawing you made. But what was it exactly? I should do that before because I never thought I'll see you again. I may have already figured it out, assistant girl, but this line represents the approximate passing of an object. The points represent a longer stop along the way. Earlier, when you were focusing on the delivery routes, I created a 3-month trace of that sculpture's path. You created it. How can you not know where it went? Well, this red ink has some special properties. A single drop on the object you want to know about automatically traces out its path. Then when trace it out on a piece of paper, it becomes sort of a timeline. Is that ink also stuff? Yes, well, sort of. Red ink my backside, according to Vero. Yeah, what's that look, assistant girl? Ah, right, assistant girl. Would you like me to explain the details of how to use timeline? As for now. Are you sure just not changing the... You're not just changing the subject? Heck no, I would never. Assistant girl, the suspicion directed my way has me feeling sad, even though there's a speck of truth to it. Understood. I'll stop there with the questions then. Since she wants to hide it, there's no use digging, right? This timeline's more important anyway. With this timeline in our possession, we may be able to find the person who originally had the sculpture. Let's see. Got the timeline. Money's your sculpture. We have the interview. Warehouse 3 and then just this protection. Where was the rabbit supposed to be delivered to? Where did the rabbit depart from? I mean, it's like it was shipped through warehouse 3. This is the destination. Start and start over. How to use a timeline. You might be able to find who originally had the sculpture. Okay, so it stopped at warehouse 3 and started here. Fail. One correct. Okay, so put this as correct. So this started Henry shipping first. No, okay, let's see. We stopped at the warehouse 3. I mean, it should start at Henry shipping, right? I mean, either that or Marco. Henry shipping, then where did it start from? I really thought it'd be Henry shipping. Starting point. this. It's wrong. I mean, we have the rabbit decoration here. Let's see. Where did it start? We have warehouse 3. Stopped off there. So we could come off of. Did you say we went to this route? No, this can't be correct. I'm missing. The music's a bit loud for me. Oops. What we have here is it's not. The route of origin. I mean, where did it start? We have this here. And along this path. That's the delivery path. Where did it start? No memories. Staff discovery. Where did it start? I mean, I can't click any of these. must have started. This start at Shop Retro. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it goes through the path, but the stopover goes here, so that doesn't look right. So along the path, it goes through Warehouse 2, 1, Henry Shipping. This path here goes along the edge. I mean, coming from this path, could it come from the train station? Since it's all along the route. Failed. Should I take the hint? Where does it say it started from? The route is this, goes along the edge. Come from the south pier. It's another location. Along with the route. Yeah. I'm grasping at straws. Yeah. Let's just see the hints. Sure, it would be great to get an explanation. After all, this paper looks different from the ones I saw before. Since I knew the general route before, I was able to guess the approximate distance between the stops. We know that the final stop was this bridge. We don't know how far the stop is from the next and which direction it traveled in. One space on the map could be 2 or 3 spaces on our timeline. Could go this way, or this way. In other words, to figure out our distance and angle, we need at least 2 points of reference. Oh. I didn't know this was an exact replica of the map there. Okay. So Warehouse 3 was here. And it was a diagonal from here. Then you're saying it's from A1.
Sensei, これを使えばステップがどこから来たのかわかるんじゃないですか?
So, did we have to figure out from our... You don't have the map of the book, but that... The map to written in blood last time was an accurate approximation of the... Okay, I didn't expect that. I guess there was probably a reason why it was written off like this. Like, how did they know it was a diagonal? Okay. Ma'am, using this, don't you think we could figure out where the sculpture came from?
あ、これは私が作ったタイムラインですね。
Ah, the timeline I created.
この赤い線が
This red
彫
map
像
is
の移
the
動した経
route
路
the
だとすれ
sculpture
ば、
traveled.
この始発点に
There's
は
a good chance we could
ステップ
find
の
the
元の
starting
持ち
point
主がいる可
that
能性が
leads
高いで
us
す。
to the sculpture's original owner.
でも助手さん、終着点の座
We
標だ
can't
けじゃ
figure out
始
the
発点の
coordinates
正
of
確な座
starting
標
point
は出せませんよ。最低でも
Object's
2つの座標が
destination
必要です。
We need at least 2 solid coordinates.
ええ。でも、座標ならもう一つ、すでに入手してます。
That's true. However, we can be sure of at least one more coordinate.
トラックのおじさんの証言を思い出してください。おじさんは彫像についていたシールは第三倉庫で使われているものだって言ってましたよね。
Think back to our talk with Trucker Daddy. Daddy said that the sticker shows it came from the warehouse 3.
つまり、この彫像はここへ来る前、ヘンリー・運輸の第三倉庫にあったということです。
In other words, before the sculpture came to rest here, it stopped for a time at Henry's shipping third warehouse.
言い換えれば、このタイムラインの正しい角度は
Thus, that gives us a right angle
こうです。
for our timeline.
おー。
Oh,
地図と照らし合わせると、地図の1マスがタイムラインでは4マスだから。
we compare that to the map and assume that one space on the map equals 4 spaces in our timeline. Sure, I guess.
発送前に彫像があった場所、始発点は
Then the starting point of the sculpture before going out on delivery.
この座標ということになります。
It's right at these coordinates. I suppose it's very accurate?
すごいじゃないですか、助手さん。こんなにすぐ
Incredible, my
私
new
の作った
assistant.
資料を理解
Do
す
you
るなん
think
て。
you make sense of my
今後が
documents
楽
so
しみです
quickly?
よ。
I look forward to working with you.
ところで、先生はこれ使おうと思わなかったんですか？自分で作った資料なのに。
However, ma'am, do you really not think to use your timeline for that anyway? You're the one who wrote it out.
何を言ってるんですか？
Assistant girl, what sort of dumb question is that?
私が頭ひねってた
I
ら
racked my
助
own
手を
brain
雇った意味が
thinking
ない
of
で
an
しょ。
answer.
こういう時こそ働いてもらわないと。
I have no use for an assistant. You gotta step up and claim your worth.
借金さえ返したら即やめてやる。
I'm out of here the second I pay my debt.
お嬢さん、どうやら手がかりが見つかったみたいだな。よかったじゃないか。
Little miss, from the move I'm detecting, it seems as though you found the clue. Oh, sorry. That's certainly good to hear.
バサーニオさんももう移動されるんですか？
Mr. Vasano, are you heading out now?
ああ、運転手さんとも一通り話ができたからね。
Yes, that's right. Right after I speak my business with this delivery driver.
よっと、もう午後の旅客船が出る時間だ。
Oh, it's already time for the evening ferry to depart.
次の配達に遅れちゃまずいし、そろそろ出発するか。
Well, I can't be delaying my next delivery, so I'll be off.
もう16時か。私もそろそろ失礼するとしよう。
That's already 4 in the evening. Little miss, I must be going as well.
バサーニオさんもこの後ご予定が？
You have some other place to be, Mr. Vasanio?
ああ、運転手さんとも一通り話ができたし、次のパートナーに会いに行こうと思っているんだ。
Yes, that's right. I spoke in my business with this delivery driver, so I must be off to see another partner of mine.
パートナーって
Another partner.
マサーニョさんに借金してる
Another
人の
person
こ
who
と
owes Mr.
だよね。
Vasanio a debt then?
お嬢さんたちが何を探してるのかは知らないが、すべて見つかることを祈るよ。おじさんの助けが必要な時はいつでも声をかけてくれ。
I hope you two ladies keep your noses down until you find what you're looking for. If you need any more help, find me at Henry's Shipping.
ステップを売る準備が整ったら、レトロショップで待っててくれ。用事が片付いたらそっちへ行くから。
Once you're ready to sell that stuff, wait for me at Shop Retro. I'll head there once my business is settled.
ああ、ありがとうございます。お二人とも。
Thank you. Thanks to both of you.
そうかしこまらなくていい。お嬢さんが得をすれば、私も得をするのだからな。
No need for all the pleasantries. After all, a gain for you, little miss, is a gain for me. Okay.
それはそうだけど。
He's got a point.
お嬢さんのことは心から応援しているよ。その年で借金を返済する覚悟を決めるなんて誰にでもできることじゃない。
Though it's a personal note, I'm cheering for you, little miss. To pay off a debt by yourself at your age, it's not something that just anyone could pull off.
では、私はここで失礼。また会おう。
Indeed, and with that, I'll be going. See you soon.
助手さん、借金っていうのは。
Hey, sister, about this, debt,
息が。高級車でも排気がきついのは同じだな。
can't breathe. Maybe expensive, but still far out all that exhaust.
ベリータ
Verita.
ベーロなんでここに
Vero, what are you?
ベリータ、
Verita,
そのウサギ、
that
今
rabbit.
すぐ海に投げ捨て
Throw it
て。
back into the ocean.
え
What?
ウサギって肖像のこと？でも
The rabbit sculpture, but
ベリータ、お姉ちゃんの言う通りにして。
Verita, aren't you supposed to listen to your big sis? Is a sister on her head? That's why she can't pay for anything. She didn't help. Ah,
助手さん、今投げたのって
assistant girl, what you just threw a second ago, don't tell me.
肖像ですけど。
It was the sculpture. What?
ちょっと正気ですか？一体どうして？
Assistant girl, are you insane? Who in the right mind? It's like it's an explosion.
Ah.
じゃあ、私はこれで。
I'll be going now. Best wishes,
先生。
ma'am.
私に何を持ち運ばせてるんですか？
What on earth were you having me carry around? Profile updated skill, massive explosion, trigger.
まったく危ないところだったわ。でしょ？
She just came and walked over there. It's not in her head. I don't know what's going on. Phew, that was almost really bad. Isn't that right, Verita?
ずっと持
I've
ち
been
歩い
carrying
てた
that this whole time.
あの時も私
Maybe I might have just been killed.
あら、まだパニック状態だったのね。
Oh my, it seems like you're still in front of a shock. So in a bit of shock.
当たり前でしょ。よくし
Of course I am. I was almost killed.
まったく、過ぎたことは水に流して立ち上がらないと。
It's already in the
エリー
past.
さんも何か言ってあ
So
げて。
get up and shake it off. At least say something to Miss Verity.
あら、こっちも
Ah,
同じね。
she's in the same boat.
ずっと持ち歩いてたのは確かだけど、私が強要したわけじゃないし、つまり私のせいじゃないですよね。
You've been carrying it around, but doesn't look like I forced her hand or anything, so it's not my fault, right?
なら結果オーライでは？
So everything's okay, right?
何が結果オーライなんです。さっきは危険なステップじゃないって自信満々に言ってたじゃないですか。
Nothing's okay. You were strutting about, confident that the staff wasn't the least bit dangerous.
だってこれまで私が見てきたものは全部大丈夫だったんですよ。嘘をついたわけじゃなくて、今回の彫像が例外だっただけです。
But everything I've seen thus far has been that way. I was just telling you my truth, and that sculpture turned out to be an exception.
だから私だって被害者
So
な
I'm
ん
a
ですよ。
victim here too.
あの憎らしい彫像め、人を騙すなんて。
That damned confounded sculpture, it tricked me.
ダメだ。口喧嘩ではこの人に勝てそうにない。
I can't keep doing this. This human is invulnerable to verbal arguments.
へりくつには言葉じゃ勝てないわ。
You can't battle with bad logic with speech alone.
ひとまず正確なトリガーが分かるまではあの彫像は海の底に沈めておきましょう。ビーズが反応していたのでまたすぐに引き上げられますから。
First things first, until we figure out that thing's exact trigger, we'll be leaving it in the ocean. I'm still getting a reaction on my beads, so we should be able to get it out no problem.
スキルの発動条件、つまりトリガーを突き止めれば安全に取引を完了させられるはずです。
If we can figure out the trigger to invoke that skill, we should be able to finish our deal without a hitch.
トリガーって例えばどんなものなんです？条件って言われてもいまいちピンとこないんですけど。
But what sort of trigger might that be? Even if there's some condition for setting it off, I can't figure out what it might be.
助手さん、トリガーに決まったパターンなんてないんですよ。ステップを逆さに持つだけのこともあれば、日本に当てるのがトリガーになることもあるんです。
As system triggers don't follow a limited set of rules. There's some triggers where you hold an object upside down, and others where the trigger could be sunlight.
昨日の月の裏側って小説は本を開くことがトリガーだったんだと思うの。それでページが飛び出すスキルが発動したのよ。
The trigger for the novel from yesterday, The Dark Side of the Moon, was just being opened, yes. Then you'd use that skill to shoot out all those pages.
ってことは、さっき橋の上でトリガーを満たしたってこと。
So in other words, I fulfilled the conditions for the trigger on the bridge a second ago. What did I do exactly?
ベーロ、さっき彫像の爆発を予測してたよね。何がトリガーだったかわかる？
You knew that sculpture was gonna blow up before, huh? Would you happen to have figured out the trigger?
私は彫像から変な音がしたから海に投げるように言っただけ。必要なら
I
また ければいいだけのことだし。
I just heard of the sculpture giving off a weird sound and told you to throw it in the ocean. After all, we can fetch it again later.
でもトリガーとして考えられる要素はいくつかあるわ。
However, there's a number of triggers that could have been.
本当なら教えてよ。
Really? Tell me what they could be.
ダメ。
Ah, and spoil the fun.
どうして？
What?
お姉ちゃん、ベリータがこんな仕事をするのには反対なの。
I'm thoroughly opposed to this sort of behavior from you.
今回の彫像が危険だったのは事実だけど、トリガーさえ分かったら気をつければいいだけだし。
That given aside, even though I admit that sculpture is dangerous, we could figure out the trigger, the danger disappears.
ねえベリータ、ステップなんてどんなに危険でも所詮はただのものなのよ。私が何を言いたいか
Oh,
Okay.
Verita, my little Verita. No matter how dangerous the stuff, it's still just an object. Have you not figured that out yet?
本当に危険なのはあなたに自分を先生だなんて呼ばせるあの女
The most
ジャド
danger
ベリンよ。
you're facing is from the woman you're calling ma'am, Zad Vering. Why does Vera know everything?
先生が危ないって？いや、確かに時々ムカつくことはあるけど、何かやらかすような度胸はなさそうよね。
Dangerous? I mean, she's certainly frustrating to work with, but she doesn't seem out to have the courage enough to do anything scary.
そういう意味じゃないの。あの人は真実を知らないまま突き進んでしまうタイプでしょ。
That's not what I meant, Verita. The person over there has a tendency to move forward without knowing the truth surrounding her.
そういうタイプの人間が一番危ないのよ。きっと苦しめられることになるわ。だから私はこの仕事に反対なの。
That's the most dangerous action around. I'm sure she's going to make out Vera. She'll suffer for it. Thus, your big sis is thoroughly opposed to all of this.
じゃあ、どうしろっていうの？
Then, what should I do?
このままバサーニオさんに売られて、あなたも私も6年間家畜みたいに働くわけ？
Do you want to sell ourselves to Mr. Vasanio, and be worked like animals for 6 years?
そうよ。
Yeah, that's right.
だって与えられた仕事だけをこなしながら淡
Didn't you say
々と生きていきたいんでしょ。
you'd rather just make a living and goodbye?
それならバサーニオさんの言いなりになって生きていくのも同じことじゃない。
That would be closer to doing the work Mr. Vasanio has set out for you.
でしょ。ベリータはそれで十分満足なはずよ。
Right? You'll be satisfied enough doing work like that.
だって特にやりたいことがあるわけじゃないんだもの。
After all, you didn't have your mind set on any job in particular.
助手さん、髪が乾いたなら移動経路の始発点へ向かいましょう。地図
Assistant
で見たところ、
girl,
大学街みたいですね。
if your hair is all dry, we should get off to the starting point of the route we found. From what the map says, it's in the University District.
助手さん、大丈夫ですか？
Assistant girl, are you okay?
心配なら無用ですよ。ハプニングはありましたけど、きっと全部うまくいきますから。
Stop with the worrying. Sure, we hit a bump in the road, but everything's turned out alright now.
ほらね、確信がないくせに大丈夫だって 言い切ってるでしょ。
See there, Verita? She's promising everything will turn out alright for you, despite having no way of guaranteeing that.
元の持ち主がステップを返せって言ってきたらどうするの？このステップを買った人が悪用したら？
What are you gonna do if that staff's original owner wants it back? Or if the buyer of the staff wishes to use it for nefarious purposes?
この先どうなるか見えてるのに目を背けてる。哀れだと思わない？
You're turning a blind eye to the future that's staring you in the face. Don't you think you might regret that? So we have some information. There's nothing else we can deduce. We can still do A1 to their destination. Maybe that's like a complete journey. And we know the exact starting point. By the way, ma'am, what sticker did you add to this document? I think it was added after the statue exploded earlier. You don't know a sticker? I guess it's sort of a given. You don't know since you only lived in Sicily. This is a threat level. It measures the risk contained by certain phenomena, such as the staff, used by certain organizations. If a skill carries absolutely no danger, it's labeled as unarmed. For a danger level equaling a knife, it's labeled a Bowie. Once it hits the danger level of a small firearm, it's labeled Colt. Then, if it's at the danger level of a tank, they rate the skill STN. A phenomena rated like a tank is at the top rank. On the surface it seems so, but there's rumors of higher ranks. After all, there's no special signals or rules when phenomena occur. The carrier threat level, threat higher than a tank. Actually, for there to be no rules on when phenomena occur in the first place. What's this? My head. This code sticker isn't an official rating. I just put it there for our own records. In some countries, trading a staff higher than Bowie level is prohibited by law. Sicily, though, is a region that only saw as its sudden urge of a staff beginning in the 16th century, so there's no laws controlling the sales yet. Still, it'll affect the sales price, so it'll be good to remember this. Threat level, then the staff is really dangerous, huh? So it was added to this right here, okay. Going to University District.
どこへ行くのベリータ？行くなって言ってるでしょ？
Where are you going, Verita? Didn't Big Sis tell you not to go?
でも
But
どうしても嫌ならパパを売ればいいの。
if you don't want to actually work, you can always sell off Papa.
私がすぐ見つけてあげるから大丈夫。ベリータ
I
は
could
普
find
通の
them
子だ
for
け
you
ど、
at no
私は
time,
何でも
Verita.
知ってるもの。
Big Sis is perfectly capable. You're just a normal kid, but your Big Sis knows everything.
嫌だ。
No.
もうベ 迷路のせいで人と疎遠になるのは嫌なの。
I don't want to lose another person in my life because of you, Vero.
行きましょう、先生。
Let's go, ma'am.
あ、
All right.
あの
Hey,
先生、
ma'am.
はい。
Yes, what is it?
このステップ、元の持ち主が返してほしいと言ってきたらどうするんですか？
What we're gonna do if the original owner of the staff wants it back?
あ、その時はもう全力でごねるしかないですね。
We have no other choice than pitch a fit. We'll make you look desperate.
そんな気はしてたけど、やっぱり
I had a feeling it would be like that.
どうやるか見せましょうか。
Want a demonstration?
いや、言っておきますけど、そんなことするなら他人のふりしますからね。
I hate to say it, but when you do, I'm out.
まあ普通の人ならこっちがしつこくご利用しすれば諦めるか買い戻そうとしますよ。
I mean, when they try that sort of thing, you just keep it or try to sell it back to them.
ステップを収集するような人は大抵資産家ですからね。面倒なことはお金で解決したがるんです。
Most staff collectors are super wealthy, so they'd rather solve problems with money rather than be bothered.
やり方は卑怯だけど、先生なりの考えがあ
A
った
bit
んだ。
excessive, but at least she has a plan.
ベールだって常に正しいことを言うわけじゃない。
Even Vero
先
isn't
生につい
always
てきたの
right.
は正しい
All
判
the
断だっ
Vero
た。
was a pragmatic decision here.
まあ今はそれより元の持ち主が見つかるかどうかの方が心配なんですけど。
I mean, for the time being, I'm more worried about finding the original owner.
もともとステップがあった場所に行けば見つけられるのでは？
Oh, don't you have to go back to where the staff was originally located?
まだまだですね、助手さん。
You still have a long way to go, assistant girl.
私まだ助手始めて3時間くらいしか経ってないんですけど。
Well, I've only been your assistant for about 3 hours.
タイムライン見せたじゃないですか。始発点は大学街のど真ん中ですよ。どれだけの人が住んでると思ってるんです？
Assistant girl is in the clear by looking at the timeline. The sculpture was originally located in the middle of a university campus. How many people do you think hang around there?
じゃあどうするんですか？ステップ収集家を知らないか一人一人に聞いて回るんですか？
Then what's the plan? Do we have no other choice but to go around asking if there's a staff collector nearby?
全然まだまだですね。助手さん、聞いて回ったって誰もが親切に答えてくれるとは限りませんよ。
Yeah, a long way to go indeed, assistant girl. Asking like that won't see kind answers in return.
まあでも大丈夫です。こういう時のために先生がいるんです。
Anyway, don't worry so much, assistant girl. That's why you got your boss on the job.
私にはちゃんと考えがあるんですから。助手さんはただついてくればいいんです。
I got a plan, so you just follow along.
大丈夫かな？
This is gonna work out okay, right?
市民の皆さん、ご自宅にある彫像に気をつけてください。爆発の恐れがあるんです。
Citizens, one and all, watch out for whatever sculptures you bear at home. One of them could explode at any minute.
ちょっと、あの子大丈夫？
Oh dear, look at that girl.
馬鹿げてるって思いますよね。でも、私は見たんです。
You may sound like gibberish, but we saw it.
この 目で
Saw
は
a
っきりと
sculpture of a rabbit explode with her own eyes.
かわいそうだな。まだお若いのに。
A pity for someone for one so young. Maybe it's just common knowledge, you know.
先生、心が削られて耐えられませんよ。こんなことに何の意味があるんですか。
Ma'am, I'm not sure I follow what we're doing here. What are we trying to accomplish with this?
おとり作戦ですよ、ジョシュさん。ステップについて知る人がこの話を聞けば何かしらの反応を示すはずです。
They're fishing, assistant girl. There's someone who knows something about staff. They definitely have a different response.
本当にこんなやり方でいいの？
Is this actually going to get results?
先生、もう喉が痛いので交代してもらえませんか。
My throat's starting to hurt though, so do you think we can take turns?
私はちょっと人前で大声を出すのは恥ずかしいので。
Heck, the thought of yelling in front of all these people has me a bit self-conscious.
こいつ。
The nerve of this one.
あの男性を見てください。私たちを見る目が怪しいでしょ。まるで獲物を狙うハンターのような。
Ah, that man over there. The way he's looking at us is suspicious. He's like a predator staring at his prey.
黒っぽい服に変な帽子までかぶって。
Those drab clothes and that weird hat.
警官
Eek, it's the cops.
君たちこんなと
Look
ころ
here,
で
you
一体
two.
何を
What are you doing here?
捕まってたまるか。
You'll never take me alive.
お逃げた。どうして逃げるんだ。止まりなさい。
You're running? Why are you running? Stop right there.
よりによって駅の方へ向かうとは運が悪かったな。
Ah, she's running right towards the station. What luck.
この警官、楽しんでない。
Seems like this officer is enjoying his job.
この音は
What's that sound?
機関車が。
The train.
捕まえたぞ。
Got you.
ジョシュさん助けて。
Assistant girl, help me.
先生、どうしてそもそも逃げ出したんですか。
Why run in the first place?
あ、ついつい癖で。
It's sort of a habit at this point.
警官さん話してくださいよ。私ここではまだ何もしてないじゃないですか。
Mr. Police Officer, please let me go. I haven't done anything here yet.
ここではまだって。
Yet here.
気をつけてくれ。あんな犯罪者みたいに逃げ出されたら興奮して追わずにはいられないんだ。
Just watch yourself when someone runs off, acting like a common criminal. I get so worked up that I got no choice but to give chase.
この警官、変態なの。
This police officer is equally odd.
で、君たちは何をあんなに騒いでいたんだ。爆発だとかそんなことを軽々しく口にしたらダメだろう。
So why are you two causing a scene back there? You can't be yelling about explosions.
少し前にも治安の日の祭りで騒動があったんだ。
A while back, there was a fuss about exactly that during Public Order and Civility Day events.
その、実は私たちステップの持ち主を探していて。
Well, we're looking for the owner of a certain piece of stuff.
ジョシュさん、そんな言い方でわかるわけないでしょ。
This is a girl, there's no way he's gonna follow if you put it like that.
ステップマナ現象の一種でトリガーを満たすとスキルが発動する全てのマナ現象の始まりとも呼ばれているあのステップのことか。
Stuff, an object affected by a phenomenon. using its skill when its trigger is satisfied. You're talking about the staff who is the root of all this phenomena business.
だいぶ詳しいみたいですけど、
He seems to follow every little detail.
たまにはこういう例外もあります。
There are occasional exceptions.
少し前にそういった研究をしている教授がショーに来たんだ。その時に話を聞いたんだよ。
This researching professor came to see us a while back. I heard all about the subject then.
そんな人がどうして警察署なんかに。
Why would a person like that visit your police station?
詳しくは忘れたが、その人も君らのように爆発の話をしていたよ。研究に必要だとかで未解決の爆発事故の記録を共有してほしいと言ってね。
I don't remember all the details, but I recall something about an explosion that you were yelling about. He asked us to share with him the records of the relatings of an unexplained explosion that he needed for his research.
確かその時のね。あったあった。
Let's see here, I should have my notes somewhere. Ah, here they are.
君たちにもこのメモを渡そう。大半は昔の出来事で詳しい情報は残っていなかったがね。
I'll give you the same notes I gave him. Most of them from a long time ago. So there's not much written about them.
この町、こんなにたくさん爆発事故が起きてたんだ。
There have been more
その
explosions
ほ
in
とんど
this
は
town
昔
than I
のことだ
thought.
けど。
Though I guess most happened a long time ago.
助手さん、とりあえずこのメモはコピーしておきましょう。
Assistant Gare, let's copy these notes first and foremost. Gare's notes. Cases near West Piazza. 8 years ago and 15. Second recorded explosion near the Art Museum. 12 years prior. Third recorded explosion occurred near the East Pier. One recent record. I suppose they were talking about what just happened.
警官さん、その教授にはどこへ行けば会えますか？
Officer, where can we find this professor exactly?
助手さん、そんなことを私たちに教えてくれるわけ。
Assistant Gare, there's no way he's gonna tell us that.
教授の家ならちょうどこの近くだったはずだ。調べるから待っててくれ。
Professor's home address? He lives in the area. Let me find it for you.
教えてくれるそうですけど。
He's telling us.
ダメじゃないですか。そんな簡単に教えたら。警察が個人情報を守ってくれなかったら、市民たちは不安で夜も眠れないですよ。
Professor's residence. How are they gonna tell us all that? Citizens can't trust their police force with their private information. Oh, they can start getting fidgety.
誤解しないでくれ。その教授から怪しい爆発の話をする人がいたら自分の住所を教えてくれと言われているんだ。
Don't take it the wrong way, it's just that the professor said if anyone came around asking about explosions, to just give him his address.
これでは街のど真ん中で狂ったように大声張り上げた甲斐が。
This making our lunatic killing in the public absolutely pointless.
狂ったように大声張り上げたのは
It was me,
先生
not
じゃな
you,
くて
young
私ですけどね。
Scale large explosion. We do have a location now. It could be the professor's residence as a starting point. Where is it headed? Some timeline, I'm asking. The third explosion, the second and the first. Okay. But before that, all this speaking needs for me a glass of water. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's a quick save. I'm not quite used to talking that much, but it's alright. Although my amateur voice acting probably needs a lot of work, but I mean, it's just fun. Let's go to Professor's residence.
ここがその教授の家ですね。
This is where the police officer told us that Professor lives.
あ、助手さん、ちょっと待ってください。よ
Oh, wait up, a sissy girl.
し、準備できました。
Alright, I'm ready. Knock on the door.
こんにちは。
Hello.
君たちか。巡査から電話があって話は聞いているよ。
It's you two. The constable rang and said you live by.
こんなところで立ち話もなんだから
Don't just stand
入りなさ
there.
い。
Come in.
ものすごく高そうな内装。私の家とは大違い。
Super luxurious decorations. The difference between this house and mine is night and day.
エレガントなお家ですね。助手さんの家とは雲泥の差です。
Super luxurious in here. The difference between this house and yours is the girls night and day.
来てくれてありがとう。お茶を出すから
Thank you for
そこに
coming
座って
to
いてくれ。
see me. If you just wait here, I'll go put the kettle on.
教授って言うからどんな人かと思ったけど、
I heard he was a
普通
professor.
のおじさんだ。警戒しなくても良さそう。
I wondered what sort of person he might be. He's just an ordinary guy. I guess I can't let my guard down.
ベリータ、人の顔くらいちゃんと覚えなさい。最低限のマナーよ。
This Verita just pops up randomly. Verita, you should remember his face at least. It's only polite.
うるさい。重要な人の顔はちゃんと覚えてるから大丈夫。
You talk too much. I remember the important ones enough, so it's alright. Yeah,
なんでここに。
why are you here?
愛しのベリータが心配でたまらなくて先回りしてきちゃったの。
Makes us was worried about little Verita, but I beat you to the punch.
大丈夫。カルロフ教授には話を通しておいたか
Don't
ら、
worry, I
ここから
finished
は
my own
お姉ち
talk
ゃん
with
が力に
Professor
なってあげる。
Carlos. I'll be here just to lend a helping hand.
何か問題でも。
Is there a problem?
いえ、教授は気にしないでください。
No, we're fine, Professor.
いえ、大丈夫です。お気
Don't
になさら
worry,
ず。
everything's okay.
それならいいが。
Well, if
お茶
that's
で
the
も飲む？
case, please help yourself to some tea.
さて、まずは自己紹介から始めよう。
Shall we start with some introductions?
私はベリータレトロです。レトロショップの娘です。
I'm Verita Retro, sir. My father runs Shop Retro.
私より弱い相手に名乗る名前はありません。
I don't give my names to those weaker than me.
私はカミロ・カルロフ。三亜型大学で
Welcome,
マナ学の
I'm
教授をしているん
Camilo
だ。
Carlo, a professor of minor studies at the University of St. Agatha.
あの無礼な挨拶を平然と流すなんて。や
It's
っ
such
ぱ
a
り
gruff
格のある人は
introduction.
違うわ。
It's clear that academics are a different breed.
ところで、マナ学ってなんだろう。
But what exactly is manner studies?
聞いた話によると、彫像が爆発するといった趣旨の話をしていたそうだね。
From what I
もしかして
heard,
あのウサギを調べているのかい？
you two were talking about exploding sculpture. Are you perhaps looking into the rabbit?
やっぱりご存知だったんですね。
So you know,
やめておいた方がいい。
you should give that up.
もし彫像を持っているな
If you're
ら
holding
壊しなさい。
on to the sculpture,
あのステップは危険すぎる。
you should destroy it. The staff is far too dangerous.
あの彫像は私たちも手に負えなかったものだ。
That sculpture, we gave up on it too.
一度詳しく話を聞いておいた方がいいかもしれない。
Shall I dig deeper into that? As you may assume, the sculpture is one of the objects my team was looking into. After all, I am a professor of mana studies. We were conducting research on a number of staff. Our goal is to study staff and use our results to create objects useful for our daily lives. For example, public transportation that doesn't use up fossil fuels. However, we dropped our research into that rabbit sculpture. It was far too dangerous. The skill of that rabbit sculpture is creating an explosion. A rather large-scale explosion at that. However, we weren't able to find any clear evidence that points out to what its trigger was. It is far too dangerous to prod any further. Thankfully for us, Mila and Fabio, two researchers I was working with, agreed to let it go, and we halted our research to Mila. I see. I have no idea how you came to know of the sculpture we clearly disposed of, but we better to put that out of your mind and walk away while you can. Hey, what is it? Just because you guys gave it up to assume we aren't capable. I'd rather you didn't underestimate the skills we're working with. Even though I might not look like it, I'm quite the professional, and I'm confident. What is this woman even saying to the professor nonetheless? Dangerous good. The resemblance is uncanny. What about you? Are you the same mind as your friend here? For some reason, hearing the professor say all of this, I think it's right to quit while we're ahead. Oh, Verita. Verita, you simply can't be without me. What's this now? Our dear professor says he disposed of that sculpture. We actually just mailed it off now. This professor disposed of nothing. The proof was said during the interview. One certain statement. One certain statement? What might that be? Would you like a hint, Verita? You darted out of the house in high spirits, but now you need your big sis' help. No, I don't need your help. I think I know what you're getting at. Alright, big sis will trust her, Verita. I hope you're not bluffing. That professor, he said he taught mana studies, but what's that? Phenomena. That's a label given to a group of mysterious happenings that you can use to be called magic or miracles. Staff is merely one manifestation. Originally, the study of mana was lumped into the theological religious studies, but in the modern age, attempts have been made to certain the rules by which this mysterious phenomena occur. Phenomena and phenomena. Mana studies is the department devoted to researching the substances causing these phenomena, mana in general, and its source. Recently, as phenomena Bureau did before, these departments have successfully organized and managed to wrestle control of some of these phenomena through their research. You sure know a lot about this. Honestly, I wasn't asking for a lecture. Hey, assistant girl. Selling stuff is how I put food on my table. These are the basics. Plus, it's an area I can take a great deal of personal interest in. I see. Let's deduce. Professor, but we have a Mila.
Mela.
Mila.
ん
Assistant girl.
メラって誰ですか、教授？
Mila, who's that, Professor Karloff?
どうしてそんなことを聞くんだ？
Why do you want to know?
もしかして口にしてはいけない名前なんですか？
Is it a name that's off limits?
いや、そんなことはない。メラは私の教え子だ。
No, there's nothing of the sorts. Mila is my protege.
メラというのは私が彼女を呼ぶあだ名で、本名はパメラ・トルレンというんだ。教え子の中で最も優秀な子でね。
Mila is just a pet name I use for pet name. Her real name is Pamela Borland. She's my best student.
気になることがあるんですけど。
Well then, I have another question for you.
どうして教授はトルレンさんにあの彫像を送ったんですか？
Why exactly did you have your sculpture shipped to Miss Borland? Yeah.
確かに例
Yeah,
の
that's
彫像
part
は
certain.
ヘンリ
The
ー・ウン
sculpture
に
was
配
shipped
送されてい
using
ましたよね。
Henry's
つまり
shipping.
捨てたというのは嘘ですね。
Dispose the part was one big lie.
配送だって。何か誤解があるようだが、
I
私はそんなこ
think
と知らないぞ。
there's been a misunderstanding. I have no knowledge of anything being shipped.
いえ、そんなはずはありません。あの彫像には確かにヘンリー・ウンユのシールが残っていましたから。
No, I don't think this can be explained away as a misunderstanding. The sculpture even has Henry's shipping sticker still on it.
それにもう一つ奇妙な痕跡が残っていました。
Plus, there's one more clue remaining.
痕跡？そんなのありましたっけ？
Clue? What might that be, assistant girl?
はい。メラへと小さく
It
書か
said
れていたんです
to。Mila on it.
メラというのは教授がパメラ・トルレンさんを呼ぶあだ名だと言っていましたよね。
He said Mila was their personal pet name for her, right? The name he used to call Pamela Torland.
つまりそのメモを書いたのは教授だということになりませんか？
In other words, you were the one who wrote that there, weren't you, Professor?
教授がトルレンさんに彫像を送った際に添えたメモ。
So that means you wrote it when you were setting her that sculpture.
そうか。そんな風に誤解され
Indeed,
てしまう。
one big misunderstanding.
そのシールは私たちが彫像を研究していた時にはすでに貼られていた。
That sticker was on the sculpture when we
そ
were
の時
studying
に
it.
私が書いたものだよ。
I wrote my note to her that
確かにそれだけ見れば私がメラに彫像を送ったと思われてもおかしくないが、それは誤解だ。私たちは間違いなくあの彫像を廃棄している。
it is, of course, perfectly understandable for you to think I sent that sculpture to Mila. But it is a misunderstanding. We disposed of that sculpture.
もしかすると誰かが拾って持ち去ったのかもしれない。
It seems like that someone must have picked up that sculpture and taken it with them.
もっともらしい話だけど。
Sounds plausible. Is that the truth?
ねえベビータ、
About that, Verita.
パメラ・トルレンっていう
Haven't you seen the name Thorland somewhere before?
私どこかで見かけ
I
た気
think
がす
I
る
read
の。
it somewhere.
ベーロがヒントを与えてくるってことはこの
Let's point that out. That name clearly means something to us.
パメラ・トルレン
So where exactly have I
どこで見たんだっけ？
seen the name Pamela Torla? Probably in the records. It's like the correct document. There's scroll. Oh, this is the year. Where did we see it? Right here.
Professor 教授、も
Professor,
しかして嘘をついていま
are
せ
you
んか？
sure you're not just lying?
どういう意味だい？
What are you claiming now?
これ見てください。ヘンリー・運輸からもらった配送記録なんですけど、
About what you said before, this is a record of all the deliveries made by Henry Shipping.
個人情報なので住所こそ書かれていませんが、確かに残っているんです。
The addresses have been deleted in order to protect the recipient's privacy. But there's one thing that this does point out.
肖像がパメラ・トルレンさん宛てに配送依頼された記録
There's a
が
record of a delivery request of a sculpture to one Pamela Torla.
決定的な証拠じゃないですか。
What's that? Seems like a pretty decisive piece of evidence, no?
この人嘘ついてますね。助手さん、間違いありません。
This man's lying. This is the girl, I'm sure of it.
それはおそらく別のものだろう。少し前メラの誕生日に手作りの亀のブローチを送ったんだ。
That must be for another item I had delivered. Last week was Mella's birthday, so I made a brooch in the shape of a turtle and sent it to her.
でも教授の配送記録は2件あります。そのうち1件には内容物として彫像
Two
とはっ
records
き
of
り記
items
されてい
being
ま
sent
す。
to her. One of them clearly says the delivery was of a sculpture.
もしそれが別の彫像だとおっしゃるなら、トルレンさんに直接お話を聞く必要がありそうですが。
Just in case, if you're gonna claim if it was a different sculpture, we're gonna have to meet this Miss Torlin and ask her ourselves.
いかがでしょう、教授。
What do you think of that, Professor?
いや、君の言う通りだ。
No, you're right on the money, Verita.
私と他の研究員は例の彫像の研究を打ち切ることにしたんだが、メラは
The other researchers and I decided to stop our research of the rabbit sculpture, but Miller wanted to keep going.
だから私はメラへ誕生日プレゼントとともにこの彫像を送ったんだ。
So
な
when
ぜ
I
か
sent
メラ
Miller
の
a
元へ配
birthday
送される
present,
途中で彫像は消えてしまったがね。
I sent her the sculpture as well, but somehow the sculpture disappeared in transit.
どうして最初からそう言わなかったんですか？
Why didn't you tell us from the beginning?
メラに研究を続けてほしくなかったから
Secretly, I always wanted Mela to continue with her research.
あの子は天才で博士課程も20代半ばで終了してしまった。
That kid's a
だが時
genius.
々
Enough that
一
she
生懸
completed
命
her
すぎて
doctorate in her mid-20s. However, I sometimes wonder if she's working a bit too hard.
おまけに最近は睡眠障害、特に過眠の症状が出ていて実験中にミスをしないか心配でね。
On top of that, she's recently been showing some narcoleptic tendencies. So I've been worrying she might have made a mistake during one of our experiments.
君たちがあの彫像をメラに返せばメラは自分の身も顧みずに研究しようとするだろう。
So if I put the sculpture back in Melo's hands, she might continue her studies without properly regarding her own safety. That's my biggest concern.
なるほど。
Yes, I see.
確かに私たちが彫像を返せばそうなりますね。
Yeah, if we give it back, that could very well happen.
どうしてそんな顔をしているんだい？
What's that look for?
教授、多分そのことなら心配はいらないと思いますよ。
Mr. Professor, if that's your biggest concern, you really don't have to worry.
教授、実は私たち
Professor, in truth, we...
それでトリガーを突き止めるためにここに来たわけなんです。
So you see, we came here to find out about that staff's trigger.
教授？
Professor?
ああ、すまない。君たちがステップのスキルを見たというのが気になってね。車が通った後に咳をしたら彫像が爆発したと言ったね。
My apologies, I was just hung up on the part about you seeing the staff skill for yourselves. After your car drove off, you said you sneezed, and the sculpture exploded?
ええ、そうですね。それがトリガーに関係しているのかも。
Hearing it all laid out, well, I guess so. Not sure if it has anything to do with the trigger, though.
君たちはもしかするとメラにとって最高の標本になるかもしれない。
You two, maybe the exact specimens of Mela has been after. It's not be the correct way to call people specimens, you know?
標本？
Specimens?
ベリータ、地図を見せてくれるかい？
Verita, could I see your map for one moment?
よし、できた。
There, all done.
これは
What's this?
原因不明の未解決爆発事故の記録だよ。私はこれらの爆発が全て彫像のせいで起きたと考えているんだ。あの彫像は昔からこの町に存在しているからね。
This is the record of a mysterious explosions no one could figure out the cause of before. I am of the impression that they were caused by that sculpture. That sculpture must have been drifting about the city for quite some time now.
ステップのトリガーを特定するのに役立つはずだ。メラの研究
This
室の
would help
住
you
所を
figure
書い
out
て
the staff's trigger. I also labeled Mila's laboratory on your map. Explosion. 12-8-15.
どうしてこれを？
君たちにお願いしたいんだ。メラと一緒にウサギの彫像のトリ
I
ガ
have a
ーを
favor to
突
ask
き止め
you.
てほしい。
Help Mila and figure out the trigger of that rabbit sculpture.
そんなの
What sort of favor is... Ah, I see.
そのトルレンという人が欲しいのは
Oh, this
ステップのデー
Tolan
タだけな
woman
わけで
wants
す
is
から。
more data pieces of staff.
私たちが彫像の特性をすべて解明すれば、その人が危険な実験をする必要はないということですね。
If you figure out all the characteristics of that sculpture, she wouldn't have to carry out her dangerous research anymore, will she?
その通りだ。
Yes, that's exactly it.
そしてそのまま肖像は私たちのものになる。
And what's sad about us holding on to the sculpture?
珍しく理解が早いと思ったら、そう
I
いう
figured
こ
you
と
just
か。
quick on the draw, but to have gone through all that.
ベリンさんって利益が絡むと頭の回転が速くなるタイプなんだよ。
Seems like money, Miss Berling's brain working in overdrive.
メラの研究を手伝ってくれるのならそうしてくれて構わない。この通り頼む。
As long as you help Mila with her research, I don't mind at all. So I'll be counting on the two of you.
そんな教え子、好きにさせておけばいいのに。まあ、私には関係ないことだけど。
If she's his student, he should leave her to her own business. But it's not really my concern.
いずれにしろ、お金を稼ぐためだし、手伝ってあげるか。
Since this is a question of making money, I pretty much have to help.
さあ、助手さん、早く移動しましょう。
Well, assistant girl, let's get a move on.
トルレンさんが私たちの助けを待ってますよ。
Miss Torland's waiting for our help. Well, I mean, we could have deduced that just Professor to Mila's lab. Anything to discuss? Is this a repeat?
ノックしたのに応答がない。どこかへ出かけてるのかな。
I knocked, but there's no answer. Did she head out somewhere?
ベリータ、この扉開いてるみたいよ。
There, the door's open, you know.
あ、本当だ。開いてる。
Oh, it is. It opened cracked.
開いてるんですか。なら早く入ってみましょう。
It's open. Then let's head inside.
ちょっと。
Wait up.
先生、入らないんですか。
Aren't you out again?
助手さん、そろそろ慣れてください。私、初対面の人と話すのは苦手なんですよ。
Assistant girl, are you still not following? Not really comfortable meeting people the first time.
はい。私が先に入りますよ。
Alright, I'll go in first then.
失礼します。
Hello.
どうしたんですか、助手さん。逃げた方がいいですか。
What is it, assistant girl? Should I be running?
この人。
This woman.
これは
She's...
助手さんが殺したんですか。
Assistant girl, did you kill her?
またやっちゃったの、ベリー
What did you get into this time, Verita?
またって何よ。私は何もしてませんけど。
What's that supposed to mean? This time I haven't done a thing.
生きてる。
She's alive.
何、子供？勝手に入ってこられると困るんだけど。
You can't be barged in when you please.
すみません。
Sorry, we
私たちは
were,
まあ別にいいけ
though
ど。
I don't very care that much.
いいの？
She doesn't care? Hey, where did that super loud sound come from before?
あれ？このブローチの音よ。アラームなの。
That was the sound of my brooch. It's my alarm. The sound of brooch is a ship's horn. That's suspicious.
ずいぶん賑やかなアラームだこと。
Rough way to wake up.
でもアラームとしての役目はしっかり果たしてるわね。
で、あんたたちは何者？泥棒か何か？
So, why are you two here exactly? Are you thieves?
私たち彫像の件で来たんですけど。
We're here about the sculpture.
彫像？ここにはそんなものないけど。
I don't have any.
ご存知ないんですか？お知り合いの教授が。
Do you not know about it? The one from the professor?
カミロ・カルロフよ。教授の名前。
Camilio Karlov. That's the professor's name.
カミロ・カルロフ教授があなたに送ろうとしていた彫像のことなんですけど。
Right, about the sculpture Camilio Karlov decided to send to you.
教授ったらまた余計なこ
The professor's gone and done something else.
と。わかったわよ。ひとまず
Okay,
話をしま
let's
しょ
have a talk then. Does that mean we can take a nap too? Not a chance. Miss Torlin, please wake up. Yeah, sorry. I've been having a small bout of narcolepsy these days. You can even sleep standing up. I wouldn't call that small. Why sculpture? You mean the rabbit sculpture we researched, yeah? I asked him to send it my way before. I never thought he'd actually do it. professor not tell you he's sending it in advance? He said he was sending a gift. But I thought he was talking about this brooch, the turtle brooch. That sounds like a ship. This is also a gift from the professor. It's not a staff, it's a perfectly ordinary mechanical alarm. I guess he's helping me to help me get over my narcolepsy. I wish he'd send me more research samples instead. He must not have sent the sculpture in the end. Actually, that's because something happened to the sculpture in transit. Right, we just come to help you, Miss Toilet. Even if you say you've come to help. I open my eyes to find a couple intruders of my own. Honestly, do you expect me just to open up to you? She's got a point. Attempted murder, possessing dangerous explosives, noise pollution, trespassing. Quite the big shot now, Verita. You talk too much. But we're really here as a favor to the professor. You can ask him yourself. Even if the professor did send you, that doesn't change much. That man, he's always interfering with my research. Not this time. The professor's worried about you, Miss Torlin. What do you two know? You barge in here and expect to know anything about our relationship. Kinda messed that up.
これもまた彼女の言う通りだ。
Yet again, she got
私
a
は
point.
この人たちのこ
I
と
don't know
を
anything
ほ
about
とん
this
ど
woman.
何も知らない。そんな私にどうやってトルレンさんを説得で
So
きるの？
how am I supposed to persuade Miss Torlin to accept our help?
説得する必要はないわ、ベリータ。トルレンさんに必要なのは
You don't need to
根拠よ。
persuade her, Verita. Miss Torlin just needs some proof.
今は私たちが知っていることを最初から最後
Tell
まで
her
全
the
部
story
伝えればい
found
い
out
の。
thus far. Start to finish.
最初から最後まで
Start
全
to
部？
finish.
そうよ、ベリータ。思い出して。
That's right, Verita. Recount the events to her.
あなたがこれまで追ってきた過去の出来事を。
Tell her about the story from the past you've been chasing down thus far. Recount. Connected information scattered across multiple documents complete the story. Only when we put the right clues into the story we can find out the real past. Professor of Mana Studies halted the research into the it should be bunny sculpture. Emilio Karlov halted the research into the bunny sculpture. The person who sent the bunny sculpture to Mila to Torlins, along with a birthday present. However, only the brooch made it to Torlin's lab. The person who wanted the brooch to be safely delivered to Torlin. The real reason was about Miss Torlin
カルロフ教授はマナ学の教授としてウサギの彫像の研究を始めました。
Professor Karloff, as a professor of mana studies, began his research into the rabbit sculpture.
しかし危険性
However,
が
due to
高
the
く
danger of said
研究は
research,
途中で中断されることになってしまいま
he
した。
decided to abandon the project.
そこで教授は唯一研究を続けたがっていた教え子にその彫像を送ったのです。
Thus, the professor decided to send the sculpture to the one of his who still wanted to carry out the research.
宛先はここ、トルレンさんの研究室です。
The package was to end up right here at your lab, Miss Torlin.
しかしその彫像はここへ到着する前、何らかの理由で行方不明になってしまい、
However, the rabbit was
実際
lost
にト
en
ルレン
route
さんの
for
元
some
に届い
unknown
たのは
reason before it
亀のブ
arrived.
ローチだけでした。
So all that you received, Miss Torlin, was that turtle brooch.
トルレンさんの睡眠障害克服のために教授が作った特殊なブローチです。
That's a special brooch crafted by the professor to help get over your narcolepsy.
教授はトルレンさんの研究を助けたくて彫像を送ったけれど、危険な実験はしてほしくなかった。
The professor wanted to help you with your research, but he also didn't want you carrying out any dangerous experiments.
それで私たちをここへ向かわせたんです。
That's why he sent us over here.
厄介な教授ね。
What a tiresome man.
それであんたたちはどう
So,
研究の助けになるの？
what help are you all supposed to be?
私たちはウサギの彫像が爆発するところを
Well, we
実
saw
際
the
に目
rabbit
撃していま
explode
す。
right in front of us.
なるほどね。ならあんたたちの経験談が役に立つかもしれないわ。
Alright, that experience could prove to be some help. You,
お見事ですよ、ジョシュさん。語りの才能がありますね。
quite the fluency in your speech, assistant girl. You got some skills.
なんだかおとぎ話でも聞いてるみたいでした。
Listening to you put it like that, it feels straight out of a fairy tale.
おとぎ話？
A fairy tale?
ほら、ウサギとカメが競争するおとぎ話あるじゃないですか。
Yeah, there's one about the tortoise and the hare getting into a race, you know?
雑談はそこまで。私を手伝いに来たんでしょ？なら早くして。
Cut the chatter there. So you're gonna help me, yes? Then let's get to helping.
私があのウサギの彫像について知りたいことはたった一つ。あのステップのトリガー
Only
よ。
one thing I need to find out about that rabbit sculpture. Its trigger.
トリガーってステップのスキル発動条件のことだったよね。
They said that's the condition that makes it use its skill.
研究室にあるトリガーのデータをもとに何度か実験したけど、一度もスキルは発動しなかった。そして全てのトリガーを試し終わる前に研究は中止になってしまったの。
We did a couple of experiments to try to pull the trigger off that staff back at the lab, but we couldn't manage to invoke its skill. Then, before we could exhaust our list of the triggers, they pulled the plug on the project.
あの彫像のトリガーがもしまだ発見されていない新しいケースだとすれば、研究の貴重な資料になるわ。だからそこをはっきりさせたいの。
If that staff ends up turning into a case of a new trigger being found, it would end up being quite valuable for my research. That's what I want to confirm.
ベリータ、あの人が求めているのはスキルの目撃談よ。
Verita, this woman wants to hear our account of the events.
橋の上で彫像が爆発したってことは、その時に彫像がトリガーを乱していたってことだから。
The fact that the sculpture exploded when we were on the bridge means its trigger condition was fulfilled.
先生、私たちが爆発を目撃した時の状況を覚えていますか？
Well, do you remember what all happened when we witnessed that sculpture go off?
確かあの時橋の上には4人いました。
Well, back then there was a total of 4 people upon that bridge.
私と助手さん、
There was
バ
me,
サーニオさん、それからあ
assistant
の変
girl,
態さん。
Mr. Vastinio, and that perfect guy.
変態さんじゃなくてトラックのおじさんで
That'll
す。
be Trucker Daddy.
はい。彼はそろそろ行かなければいけないと言ってトラックに乗って橋を離れました。
Right, and that guy said he used up too much time talking and drove off the bridge first.
その次にバサーニオさんも車で去っていきました。
After that, Mr. Vassino got into his car and drove off too.
その後、私がよそ見をしていた一瞬の隙に異変に気づいた助手さんが彫像を海に投げて、
Then, after I looked away for a time, you noticed something odd about the sculpture and threw it into the ocean, assistant girl.
そのまま水中で爆発したんです。
That's when the water blew up in our faces.
下手くそな説明ね。
Rather lousy sort of explanation.
ちょうど今何か思い出しかけたけど、言いません。研究を手伝ってもらう側の態度じゃないですから。
I might have just a thought, but I don't want to tell you now. You're not acting much like someone in need of help.
何言ってるのこの子。正気？
Was that you, Twop? Are you in your right mind?
先生、思い出したって何ですか？
Ma'am, what is it that you remember?
下手くそな説明って言葉を撤回するまで絶対言いませんよ。これは私のプライドの問題です。
I'm not saying a word until Miss Torlin take back the lousy bit. This is a matter of pride.
撤回するわ。
I take it back.
なら言います。
Then I'll tell you.
びっくりするくらい安い
Rather
プライドね。
lousy sort of pride.
助手さんが彫像を海に投げた時、私がよそ見していたのには理由がありました。
I remember the reason I was looking away before my assistants threw that into the ocean.
その時、私はひどく咳き込んでいたんです。
It was because I was overcome with a serious fit of coughing.
それで？
And
それで終わりですけど。
that's it.
何それ？全然役に立た
Well,
ないじゃ
that's
ない。
not helpful at all.
役に立つようなことを思い出したとは言ってませんよ。勝手に期待しておいて、がっかりしないでください。
I just said I remembered something. I didn't say it would be helpful. Could you stop getting your hopes up and have them crash around you?
あんた、病院に行った方がいいわ。
You should be hospitalized.
本当にこの話、
Is that
役に
really
立た
not
ないかな。
helpful?
カルロフ教授はさっきの話を聞いて
Professor Karloff
私たちをここへ向かわせた。
sent us this way after hearing just that.
何かひらめいたような表情をしていた気もするし。
It seemed like it gave him an idea.
面白そうなこと考えてるじゃない。しょうがないから少し助けてあげる。
There, that's quite the thought. Let Big Sis help fill in the holes.
彫像による爆発はあなたとベリンさんが目撃した場所だけで起きてたわけじゃない
The
の。
sculpture did only explode where you and Miss Baring witnessed.
もしかすると爆発が起きた場所には共通点があるんじゃないかしら。
You think all the places where explosions occurred might have shared something in common?
爆発が起きた場所の共通点ってつまり
Something that connects all the explosion sites. In other words,
その共通点が肖像のト
maybe
リ
the
ガーを
thing
満
in
たしたっ
common
てこと。
fulfilled that sculpture's trigger? Right. Explosion coordinates in order. Explosion 1, 15 years ago, according to the map. 15 years ago. 15 years ago, and the next up from the officer 12 years ago. Explosion to 3 was just recent. The next one should be the 8 years. And this is where the nearby one went off. They were at the Discovery side, right? Either that or the East Pier. The recent one said it was from the officer, East Pier. Said East Pier, but it's near East Pier. So were they sitting here at E3? This is also nearby when the rapid took off. It was also nearby when the rabbit. Coordinates in order. I mean, we have nothing in common at the moment. A3. Explosion 1 was at B6. A3. A7. There's no conceit for it going diagonal like this, huh? Because it went like that here. Cause of the explosion. Special about that side. Hit the alarm, because Two cases near West Piazza. Years ago and 15 years ago. That was also nearby. The Piazza, the Art Museum, the ocean. Just saying this explosion. No. What's going on? What connects the explosion sites? To say we're here. This was also nearby. All of these followed the train station. What's the train? It's a train. I guess we're just matching the coordinates, not the third explosion.
ちょっと待ってく。先生がさっき思い出した内容は、もしか
Somehow
す
you
る
said
と
that, man.
想像以上に重
Maybe
要なもの
more
かもしれ
important
ません。
than you imagined.
はあ、ただ咳をしたってだ
She
けの
said she
話で
started
しょ。
coughing.
そうですよ、助手さん。
She's
た
right,
だ咳を
assistant
したという
girl.
だけの話
I was just
がどうして重
coughing.
要なんですか？
なんなのこの人。
What's wrong with this 12?
これを見てください。これは
Both of
こ
you,
の町
look
で過去に
here.
起きた
These
原因
marks
不
show
明
where
の
the
爆発を
explosions
記した
occurred
ものです。
around this town.
教授はこれらの爆発が例の彫像のせいで起きたと考えていました。
The professor thinks that all these explosions were caused by the rabbit sculpture.
根拠のある主張だったのね。その彫像
I
は
can see
少な
his
くとも
reasoning.
50年前からこの三亜型に
We
存在し
have
ていた記
records
録
of
があ
that
るわ。
sculpture that's been around Saint Agatha for at least 50 years.
じゃあ地図に記された場所で彫像のスキルが発動したということですね。
So that means
つま
that
り
each of these places on the map invoked the sculptor's skill. In other words,
はい、この3つの場所には彫像のトリガー条件を満たす何かがある可能性が高いと思います。
these three locations, there's a good possibility that these places share something that fulfilled the trigger condition of the sculpture, right?
それとこの地図を見るとこれらの場所には共通点があることがわかります。
Plus, if you look closely on the map, you see all these places have something in common.
3カ所すべてすぐ近くに線路があるということです。
They're all places that pass close to the train.
そういえばさっき警官に追いかけられた時。
You're right, assistant girl. Back when I was being chased by that car.
はい、私たちさっき列車が通っていくのを間近で見ましたよね。
We saw that train pass by real close, huh?
警官に追いかけられたって。
You were chased by the cars.
今はそんなことは重要じゃありません。 重要なのはその時私がひどく咳き込んでいたということです。
That's a minor affair now. The important thing is, I was also struck by another coughing fit then.
列車の肺炎のせいで。
It was because of all that smoke.
なるほど。サンアガタを走る列車は古い蒸気機関車がほとんどだから肺炎がひどいのは当然だわ。
I see. Most of the trains that pass through St. Agatha are old steam engines. They give up a lot of exhaust.
なら彫像が爆発する前に咳をしていたのは。
Is that the reason you started coughing before the sculpture exploded as well?
いえ、あの時は近くに線路がなかったので
No,
当然
we
列車が来ていたわけで
weren't
もあ
any
りません。
railways then, so there was no train to pass by.
でも当時トラックのおじさんとバサーニョンさんがほぼ同時に車を出したので
However,
車の
both
排気
Trucker
はありました。
Daddy and Mr. Vastani drove off at the same time, so there was a bunch of exhaust fumes.
で、それのせいで咳き込んでたんです。そういえば、広島君の話を聞いて考え込んでました。
Right, that's why I started coughing so badly. Now that you're saying it, the professor also seemed to be lost in thought. Now I mentioned that.
教授も確信とまではいかずとも、ある程度は予想していたのかもしれません。
Professor couldn't be sure, but I think he sort of anticipated we reached this conclusion.
それで、私たちをここへ向かわせたんだと思います。
That's
オ
why
リ
he
ベン
sent
さ
us
んが
here.
それに気づくことを願って。
He wanted Miss Torland to figure this out on her own.
たくまた余計なことを。いや、
Somehow, this
今
turned
回は
out
余計
for
じ
the
ゃな
better.
かったかも。
I'm in your debt.
彫像のトリガーは化石燃料から発生する高濃度の一酸化炭素や炭化水素。
The trigger for that sculpture must be in the vicinity of high concentration of hydrocarbons or carbon monoxide from burning fossil fuels.
つまり排気との接触である可能性が
In
高そう
other words, very likely the trigger coming in contact with exhaust fumes.
助手さん、あの人急に何か書き始めたと思ったらそのまま動かなくなっちゃったんですけど。
Assistant girl, that woman. She just plopped down and started writing, and she's been at it for a while now.
まさか貴重な研究資料だからステップは渡さないなんて言い出さないですよね。
No, you don't think it's because you want us to have that stuff. She said it'll be valuable for her research.
もう少しだけ待ちましょう。きっと重要な情報だから忘れないうちに記録してるだけですよ。
Give her a little more time, ma'am. This is important info, so she needs to write it all down before she slips her mind.
いいよ。寝てるみたいだけど。
No, I think she's just asleep. Oh,
トルレンさん、
hey, Miss Torland.
何よ、あんたたちまだいたの。
What is it? You're still here. Why haven't you left yet?
せっかく情報提供したっていうのに何なんですかあの態度。
Who would have thunk it? We help her out and she still treats us like this.
助手さん、何か言ってやってください。早く。
Assistant girl, say something to this woman. Now, quickly.
それじゃあこのステップは。
So about the stuff.
言ってやらないとわからないの？
You still not get it?
そのステップはあんたたちのものでし
That
ょ。
stuff.
売るなり捨てるなり好きにす
It's
ればいい
yours
わ。
now. Grab it and sell it. Or whatever you're planning.
いいんですか？
Really?
おお、意外と太っ腹じゃないですか。検証くらいはしてから渡されるんだろうと思ってたのに。
Oh, she's cooler than he looks. I figured she'd have to check the trigger for herself before handing it over.
本当はそうしたいわよ。排気のどの物質がトリガーになるのか確かめられてないし。
I would wish to do that if I shared her mindset. After all, we're not sure what particular substance in that exhaust fumes is the trigger.
でも 教授は私に危ない実験をしてほしくないからあんたたちをここへよこしたんでしょ。
However, the professor sent you because he didn't want me carrying out any dangerous experiments, right?
今は他にも進行中の研究があるし、機体との接触がトリガーだって分かっただけでも成果としては十分ね。
As it stands, I have other ongoing research. So, figuring it out it's triggered by fumes isn't a bad result for a day's work.
今回ばかりは教授のおせっかいに付き合ってあげることにしたの。
This time, I'll
私も
play
あの人
along.
のこと誤解してたし、
The
そ
professor's
の
mental
反省の意味でもね。
After all, I think of what I was wrong with about him. I could use a bit of time for reflection.
トルレンさん、
Miss Torlin,
ベーロ、何なの
Vera,
その
what's
表
with
情。
that look?
なんでもないわ。ここで手仕舞いにするのも悪くない
I
か
was
な
thinking,
って。
wrapping things up here wouldn't be that half bad. Huh?
気にしないで。お疲れ様、ベリ
It's
ータ。
nothing. Good job, Verita.
助手さん、早くバサーニオさんと彫像を取引しに行きましょう。
Assistant Garrett, let's hurry up and sell that stuff to Mr. Vassana.
レトロショップへ来るって言ってましたし、もうついてるかもしれませんよ。
He said he'll find us a shop retro, so he might be there already.
ああ、はあ。
Oh, right. Any discussions? You can talk to her about mana studies. But... Miss Torlin, you're also in mana studies like the professor is. She's asleep again. Oh yes, you're talking about my research. I've been researching the staff as part of my work in mana studies. In particular, I do a lot of research using staff as sort of resource. Curious about that? No, not in particular. Kids these days. Yeah, come to think of it, I heard that the passenger ships that run through here are all powered by staff. Is that what you're talking about? That's right. Those ships were actually built around theories laid out by my graduate thesis. What, you mean those ships are called the Pride of St. Agatha? I figured the professors a lot were all geniuses, but they're actually more impressive than I thought. I mean, the technologies behind it isn't all that grandiose. We just replace fossil fuel bits with stuff that heats up when triggered by coming in contact with water. The thought process behind that wasn't all that difficult. The hard part instead is erasing the prejudice people still have and think all phenomena are a danger to society. We actively phase these phenomena into our technological developments. Humanity will be able to develop exponentially faster than our current rate. It's rather frustrating when you put it that way. Any other deductions? You can do the rabbit's journey. It started at the professor's residence and ended and was supposed to go to Torland's lab.
そういえば、この彫像は教授がトルレンさんに送ったものだったんだよね。
Just to confirm, the sculpture was sent from the professor to Miss Torland.
つまり、ベーロが最初に出した課題に対する答えは、
Putting it another way, that answers the question Vero first brought up.
教授の研究室からトルレンさんの研究室まで。そうでしょ？
He was moved from the professor's office to Miss Torland's laboratory. That's the answer to her question.
今となってはそこまで重要な情報じゃないけ
May
ど。
not seem that important after everything.
果たして本当にそうかしら。
Yeah, you still think it'd stay that way, Verita?
なら今度は何？
What's this now?
ベリータ、私が出した課題は2つ
Verita,
よ。
I I presented you with 2 tasks.
配送ルートを突き止めること、そして発送地と到着地を突き止めること。
One was finding the exact route, the other was find about the starting point and destination.
これらの情報は深く結びついているわ。
Those pieces of
だけど、
information are key here, they have to be. However,
あなたが見つけた2つの答えには微妙に食い違う部分があるの。
Verita, the answer the 2 tasks put in front of you don't quite fit together.
だから何？答えは出たし、終わった話でしょ？
What are you saying? We already answered both questions are at the end of everything. We don't know why the rabbit did not get to the destination though.
ああ、ベリータ。私のベリータ。
Oh, Verita, Verita, Verita.
終わりとか過去っていうのはね、
Then,
一
the
つの形だ
past.
けじゃないの。
Those 2 words are not one and the same.
すべての過去には目に見えない裏側があるのよ。
Past has a dark side, like the moon up there.
裏側？
A dark side?
ベリータ、あなたが答えを書き込んだその
Verita,
文章、
would you take a close look at
も
the
う少
documents
し
you
よ
have
く見
already
てみ
filled
て。
out?
あなたなら矛盾を見つけられるって私は信じてるわ。
One thing is clear, there's a certain contradiction you should be able to find. Retro, dark side.
そしてその矛盾をつなげれば覆すことができる。
If there's a contradiction, there's always a refutation. Find the contradiction in the rabbit's delivery routes. Retro. Selecting an incorrect answer and connecting it to the evidence proves it's wrong. That, my girl, is a retro. Staff discovery sites. Contradicts the answer. Destination, the staff recoveries. Fail. I mean, the journey of the cause. There's a hint button. Retroism. I don't know what that means. It's gotta be the staff from Discovery sites. Why did it fall off? Fair. Train stations, let's see. It's gotta be why did they... Why was it falling off? Destination was not 21. Discovery sites. I just did that. was finding the exact route. Neither was the starting point and destination. The starting point, destination. It's not quite fit. Apart from the staff discoveries. The journey. It's gotta be this. The exact route, the other was starting point and destination. Quite fit together. Starting location, Professor residence. Was the delivery stopped at the warehouse 3 but not the staff discovery center? No, because the blood mark showed that the final stop was C. What's going on? Find these documents. These documents. These two documents, that was the hint. Wait, was the route to Thorland's lab was not in the right route? Wow. It was supposed to be in Hermanio's route. That was the contradiction, wow.
これは一体
What in the
助手さん
assistant
Shouldn't we go
girl?
stand
Where
this
is this coming from?
見つけたのね、ベリータ。
You found it
経
very
路は最初から間違って
route
い
was
たの。
off from the get-go.
それが私たちの探して
That right there is your dark
裏側
side.
よ。
先生、私たちこの文章をもとにステップの運送ルートを
Well,
B
looking
ルー
at
ト
this
だと判
document,
断
we
したんですよ
found
ね。
that the staff was transported down Route B, right?
もう忘れた
Assistant
んです
girl,
か
have you?
そうですよ。じゃなければ
Already
B ルート
forgotten?
の配達員に会いに行ったりしませんし。
Because of that, we met the delivery driver for Route B.
あの変態おじさん、ステップについてのことは何もかも忘れてて、ほ
That
ぼ意味な
pervert
かったですけど。
he forgot everything about the stuff, so it wasn't much help.
もしかすると忘れたわけじゃないのかもしれませんよ。
Well, if it wasn't that he forgot. Yeah.
教授がトルレンさんにこの彫像を配送したなら B ルート担当のおじさんが受け持つのは変です。
The professor who shipped this to Miss Torland. It would be odd for the driver of the Route B to be charged with the delivery.
なぜなら B ルートは目的地のトルレンさんの研究室を経由しないからです。
After all, Route B doesn't pass by Miss Torland's lab, the destination of the package.
本当だ。
Ah, you're right.
トルレンさんの研究室を通るルートは一つだけ。
There's only one route that passes by Miss Torland's lab.
それが C ルートです。
That'll be Route C.
だから実際に配送を担当したのは C ルートの配達員
The driver
エルマーノ
in
さん
charge
で
of
ある
Route
はずです。
C is this Romano.
でも C ルートはステップがあった橋を通りませんよ。
Ah, but Route C doesn't pass the bridge where we found the staff, no?
どうしてステップは東の橋の下に沈んでたんでしょう。
So how did the staff end up sinking under the bridge to the east?
ん
Huh?
確かにおかしいですね。
You're right. How did it get over there? I thought that was the contradiction. Not the route, but I suppose.
C ルートの配達員の話を聞けば何かわかるかも。
If we were to have a talk with Route C driver, do you think we might figure it out?
ベリータ、大丈夫？
You think that'll be alright, Verita?
今はそれよりも大事なことがあるんじゃない？
Don't you think there's a more important question to be asked?
助手さん
Have you figured something out, assistant girl?
すでにステップの元の持ち主と目的地は突き止めたわけですし、現時点で配送ルートはあまり重要じゃないのでは？
We already figured out the origin of this destination and of our staff. Is the route went down really that important?
それでもその配達員に会いに行くつもりですか？
Still, you want to go talk to that driver, huh?
先生の言う通りだ。配送ルートに目をつけたのは
She's
ステップ
right.
の持ち主を探すためだった。
The delivery route was an important step in figuring out the original owner of the staff.
わざわざ会いに行くのも面倒だし、やっぱりやめておこ
Find
う
the
か
guy
な。
is going to be a chore, so should I ignore the whole issue?
ステップさえちゃんと売れれば私には関係ないし。
If I'm going to sell off the staff, it really doesn't mean anything to me.
まあ私は賛成ですけどね。
I agree with you.
はい。
Excuse me.
自分が扱っている品に知らない部分があるなんてどうにも納得できないというか。
There's a detail I'm unsure of regarding an item I'll be selling. Well, that's simply unacceptable.
私そういうの嫌なんです。
No, actually, it's straight up frustrating.
助手さん、やっぱりヘンリー運輸へ行きましょう。C ルートの担当者がいるかもしれませんから。
Assistant girl, let's head to Henry's shipping. Maybe the driver around C is hanging around.
ちょっと。
Hold up.
余計なこと言っちゃったかも。
I think I started us down a wild goose
先に
chase.
行ってて、ベリータ。私もすぐに行くから。
Go on ahead, Verita. I'll be right behind you.
助手さん、早く乗って。
Assistant girl, let's get on.
はーい。
Yeah. It's actually Route C. What's going on here? What's the split? You could visit to Shop Retro, but Henry Shipping gives us more information. Well, we'll figure out next time. Well, definitely we're going to go to Henry Shipping first because that was an interesting idea. We managed to deduce the actual information about everything. I guess these questions are filled in by the story. We'll find out. Yes, that's our first experience with Retro. Down the information that we have gotten. So I'm gonna save it here. And next time we'll figure out what Henry Shipping's got to do with all this. Alright. We'll see you next time.